of money fear is real and how you can change that. And today's topic, we're going to talk about significantly emotional events. And this is something I'm sure that a lot of us don't even give much thought to. However, it is in the forefront and the back front of our minds, and certainly a very highly charged memory that we have that our amygdala has created for us. I'm sure you guys remember the amygdala. We spoke about that the first day, the second day, pretty much every day, because that is the part of our brain that is responsible for triggering the fight-flight response, activating our nervous system that puts us into a fear mode. It also is a part of our memory and learning center. So wouldn't we want to learn from things that are potentially dangerous, or we had a really bad experience, or we had a really good experience? That's important also. And our amygdala helps us to remember that. One moment. Okay. Just getting all my media up for us. I'm coming at you live today from Be Live, because yesterday we had some challenges with getting a person up with us so that I could do a hot seat. And we've solved that problem now. We're on Be Live, and we're going to use that. So I am sending this link over to someone who's going to come on with us. So does anybody have any questions from the other days that we've been going live? Anything happened that you want to talk about? Any results of the tools that we've been giving you? Maybe there's maybe some things have changed in your life. Maybe things are gotten different. Just would love to know. Oh, hi, Debbie. Yay, Debbie's here. Okay. Yeah, please let me know that you're here. And I am using, like I said, this new platform. So it's very exciting. All right. So with that being said, we're just going to hop right in. And let's see. We are going to, one moment, please. Just changing the title of this to day 3 of 30. And emotional events. Money. Sorry about that. It was giving us a totally wrong title. All right. So now we're going to hop right in. Does anybody know what a significant emotionally charged event is? If you know, go ahead and type that in. Or we had a really bad experience. Or we had a really good experience. Significant. Okay, I'm not saying anything yet, but we do have a delay, so sorry for the technology challenges, but I'm going to share it with you. So a emotionally charged event that's significant is something that's a strong, raw, uninhibited emotion. It's an emotion that's experienced because of usually an intense interpersonal exchange or an intense relationship that's happened, or it could be an event. Like one of the big examples of a significant emotional event would be 9/11. Like everybody knows that. Even if you weren't in it or even that close to it, you know about it and you will probably have some kind of effect from it. Okay, Debbie is asking to repeat the definition. So we're gonna repeat that. So the definition of a significantly emotionally charged event is one in which there's strong, raw, uninhibited emotion that has happened. And it's as a result of some kind of an intense interpersonal exchange. It could be an intense relationship. between two people, or it could be an event. And the important thing to note is that you don't have to have actually been there if it's an event. You could be hearing about it, just like we're going through right now with the coronavirus. Hopefully nobody who's listening has been infected with it, but we're all affected by it, even though it's not necessarily something that we have experienced itself. We're experiencing the effects of it. So when we have a significant emotionally charged event, this is like emotional electricity, zzz, where it can be positive and it can be negative. So a lot of times we only hear about the negative ones, which are usually fear-based or anger-based or sad-based. For example, another significant emotional event could be a birthday. That could be nice, or an achievement. You won something, or you did something, you accomplished a goal. It could also be, going back to the more negative side, it could be like a death or a loss. It could be many, many things. Now, for example, I have been in several hurricanes, many earthquakes. Although I was not in 9/11, it did affect me. And those were very significant to me. So those are in my memory, and I have done some work around those so that they are not triggered like they used to be, but they're never going to go away. And that's a good thing, because we want that as kind of a safety mechanism for us. So we've spoken about the amygdala before in previous sessions of this series. We're on day 4 here of 30 days. And just as a refresher, the amygdala is that part of our brain where it tells us, are we in danger or are we safe? Are we safe or not? That's all it knows. It's binary. The input is through our senses, our 5 senses. So it uses our sight, our smell, our taste, our hearing, and our feelings to determine that. So it is also our emotional learning center, or part of our emotional learning center, and it also has memory functions. So what it does when we have a significant emotional event is it boosts the memory encoding by enhancing it, and it makes it more memorable, and it makes it go into our long-term memory, so that should anything remotely like this happen again, we're going to be able to have that in our database. That's in our, say, our Google or our Wikipedia. It's right there to go, oh, this new event looks kind of like that, or it has similar elements to that situation, and that was not good, or that was really good in the case of like a birthday or an achievement. And so it's a bit of a hardwire there, and it is hardwired through the neurons in our brains. So what happens when we have a significant emotionally charged event is there's a release of stress hormones, and that is the amygdala that does that. And it can release adrenaline and cortisol. And so it boosts arousal because it's preparing you for some kind of danger. And it triggers production of a protein. And this protein's name is ARC, A-R-C. And so that ARC, it triggers the protein in the neurons in the hippocampus, another part of our brain that's involved in processing long-term memory. So ARC protein helps certain memories be strengthening the synapses, which are the connections between the neurons of the brain, to say, hey, this is super important. We're going to need to remember this, and we're going to need to make sure that, whatever we do, we protect ourselves from this. So that's why it's so significant. Whereas emotionally neutral events, they're generally not stored as long-term. You're just going through your day. You have a ham sandwich for lunch. You look outside. It's sunny. It's a nice day, but nothing extraordinary. But it's nice. Or you stub your toe. You're like, okay. You're not going to remember 20 years from now, oh, on March 28th, at 5 p.m., I stubbed my toe. You're not going to remember that, probably, unless you have one of those super memories. But what if you had like something tragic happen, for example, the death of a loved one? You're going to remember that. Most people remember the day, no matter how long ago that was. So just to give you a couple of examples. So what I'd like to ask now is, what significant emotional events have you had? That's one question. So feel free to type that in the chat, not the chat, the comments. And I have a little delay here, so type those in if you feel comfortable sharing those. If you don't, that's fine too. But the other part of the question is, how significant do you feel is the coronavirus in terms of being a significant emotional event for you? A couple of points to add about that is, we may or may not even be aware of how significant that is. Like, for example, I was out probably a week ago and I went to Costco because I thought, you know what? I don't really need the 200 pack of toilet paper. However, I'm just going to go and see what all this hubbubaloo is about. So I went there and I was like, oh, okay, these people are a little charged up, but I don't need toilet paper and I'm just observing. And then I went out into the parking lot and I couldn't find my car. I never lose my car. Like, that's just not something I do. I might be one row off at Costco, but I'm not at a loss for where in the world in the Costco parking lot did I park. So that is an effect that I was having. So maybe you could share, if you feel comfortable sharing, something that might be happening for you. And I'm going to check the comments over here. A couple of them have come in here. Debbie, I don't know the answer to your question about what if someone does not have any access to analog memory, about the only situations that cause a physical memory reaction is grief. As when I think about my parents being inaccessible through death, not their actual deaths, though. I don't know to that depth. I'm sorry to say. We can look that up and see what's happening there. So, okay, so the other part of Debbie's question is, I have great difficulty remembering the images or physical reactions, the extraordinary good things or even the majority of bad things. The only powerful one I tend to tap into is grief. No memories of the senses, good or bad. And so she's saying that some of these exercises can be frustrating. Well, I want to just say, Debbie, hang in there. Because, I mean, I'm not a psychologist, but I have done a lot of work with people who have had traumas and abuses. And sometimes what can happen is we can block out, because block out emotions or block out the memories because they are just too much. Like we were talking about yesterday about the capacity for us, for our emotions. Some of us may be feeling now like we have this little bitty cup. Here we go. We'll use a little bitty bottle as an example. And it's full of water. And as more emotions come in, there's no more room to put them in. And they just overflow off the top. So we never even really get to know what that is. We might feel the effects of that. Like we might feel like we're a powder keg. Or we might just feel nothing, like, oh, I don't know what that was. Oh, that was a squirrel. There it goes. But for the cup, our capacity, what we need to do is expand the capacity. And these techniques that I'm teaching you are expanding your capacity. And as you expand the capacity, then there's more capacity for the emotions to move. Emotions means to emote, which means to move. So they can come in and they can go out. And that's how they're meant to flow. They're not meant to come in and be stuck. And they're also not meant to just like skim off the top because, oh, this cup is full. I can't get in there anymore. So I have a feeling that might be part of what's happening, Debbie. So I would say to just stick with this. And I think there's some good things happening. Very courageous of you to share that with us. Thank you, Debbie. Okay. Does anybody else have anything they want to share? Hi, Missy. Welcome. We're just talking about any significant emotionally charged events that we may have had in the past or maybe going through right now. How significant do you guys feel this coronavirus situation is for you emotionally? You can put in the I keep wanting to call it the chat. I'm just going to call it the chat because that's what I'm thinking of it as. The chat or the comments. Put a number between 0 and 10, 10 being the most significant, emotionally charged, and 0 being the least or just not affecting you at all. So we're going to wait for those to come in for a moment. And for me, I wanted to share a little bit more about, for me, I was in a Category 5 hurricane in Mexico, which I'm not recommending. Just, I wouldn't do that. Didn't really understand that Mexico doesn't have the building standards that the United States has. And so I'm not going to go into all the details, but for me and my experience, that was so much more traumatic and significantly impactful to me because I saw so many things. I had to go without food. There was a lot of looting. There was, no water. We were boiling water from the pool that was outside. I know, not the best idea, but we didn't have any water. So bridges were out. That's all I'm going to say about that. So when, in my mind, my amygdala is comparing that to the coronavirus, and it's going, hey, Olympia, not so bad. You got food coming in. You have a steady stream of water. You have power. Hey, that's good news. You can cook, you can stay warm, or you can stay cool. You have a roof over your head. Your windows are not blown out. So I'm just giving you this as an example so you can see how my amygdala is working that out. Everybody's amygdala is very personal. So it's going to be different for you based on how, what you've experienced in the past, plus how you interpret that now. So, oh, good. We have a comment coming in here. So Missy is saying she likes the slow and quiet. 10 on a good. I'm not sure what 10 on a good means. Missy, does that mean that 10 is very, very negatively impactful? I'm thinking that's what she means, but I'm not sure. To see what it's doing for our country and for others' businesses, it's a 9. So very, very sad. Okay, so she's got a couple of different scales going. One for her personally, and then one that she's feeling empathetically for others. So what I believe is that this too shall pass. I think it's a matter of time. I know that's, I've got my crystal ball out. We all have our own crystal balls, but that's what my amygdala wants to believe, and I'm sticking to it. So we have another comment here. Yeah, Debbie will try and avoid Category 5 hurricanes in general, and not in non-first world countries. Yeah. So Debbie is having a sense of relief, primarily because her daughter, who has a chronic illness, was on antiviral before this ever started, and an immune system booster. Yeah. So, it's impacting us in so many different ways. So the point of why I'm having this 30-day series for us is so that we can understand what's happening to us, but then more than just understand, hey, we have these practical tools that we're using real time to help us to eradicate the impacts of it. Yes, we know it's still there. It's still happening, but we've done everything that we possibly can for it. I mean, we can't just go out and, create the cure for it, although maybe some of us can, most of us can't. So we need to take care of ourselves, and we need to also manage our reaction to it and still maintain ourselves and still attempt to make some forward progress and to feel better. So I really feel like that's what I wanted to share with you guys in these 30 days. So for me, I've never done a 30-day series. I think I've done 4 Facebook Lives before this. So hello, my amygdala was going, what are you doing, Olympia? Why are you doing this? Why are you exposing yourself like this? You're being so vulnerable. What is this all about? But I had an overriding thought and story, and that is these tools that I have are so invaluable for people that I'm going to override my fear and just say, you know what, I'm going to get it out there and I'm going to help people. So that's what I've chosen to do. We all are going to, do whatever we can. And if it's only just helping ourselves, that's a lot. Help yourself, because that's going to help other people. All right. So we're at the point today where we're going to do one of our exercises. Is everybody ready? We call it a resource. So I'm just going to flip over here to see which one we decided to do today. We're going to do one called the rotation of consciousness. This is one that will really calm the whole mindset, body set, and heart set. It calms everything, and it helps to reset back to that rest and digest state of the parasympathetic nervous system, toning down that fight-flight response. So we're going to do that one today, and then maybe tomorrow we'll see how we're doing. But there's another technique I want to do. It's called the timeline technique for fear. That one takes a little bit longer, so we need more time. We'll either do that one tomorrow or Monday. That one is huge. You want to make sure you're here for that one. Okay, is everybody ready? Here we go. So get in a comfortable position. Now, I'm assuming nobody's driving or operating heavy equipment. Get into a comfortable position, either seated or lying down, one where you can really just let go. And as you're doing that, I want you to close your eyes. First of all, notice your breath. Whatever it is, just notice it without trying to change it in any way. You're just noticing as it goes in and goes out, and feel the breath breathing the body. Do that for a couple of rounds, maybe 3 rounds. Good. And as you're lying there, resting, eyes closed, have your eyes gently retracted into the head and softly gazing up at the eyebrow center, about mid-forehead. It's just very gentle. It's like a retraction of the eyes, just really giving them a chance to rest. Because the eyes are actually the only external manifestation of your nervous system. That is nerves you've got going on your eyes. There's no protection of skin, which is other places. So we really want to give them a chance to rest and let go and to change. So as you're lying there, now what we're going to do is I'm going to name a body part. And as I name a body part, all you do is bring your attention to that body part. Nothing is moving, just your attention is being focused there. As we go through the body parts, just flow with me. And as we go through each body part, it's going to bring you into a deeper and deeper and even deeper state of relaxation and rest and joy and peace. If for some reason you lose track of where we are, just pick up wherever we are so you'll be found again. Just pick up with the next body part. So we're going to start with the right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, bicep, tricep, shoulder, the left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the left hand, back of the left hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, bicep, tricep, shoulder, the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, bottom of the right foot, top of the right foot, ankle, calf, knee, thigh, hip, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, bottom of the left foot, top of the left foot, ankle, calf, knee, shin, hip, the right side of the upper chest, ribs, abdomen, hip, left side of the upper chest, ribs, abdomen, hip, right side of the upper back, mid back, low back, hip, left side of the upper back, mid back, low back, hip, the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, teeth, tongue, gums, cheeks, right side of the face, left side of the face, back of the head, top of the head, the throat, right side of the neck, left side of the neck, the whole neck, the whole head together, the whole head together, right side of the body, left side of the body, front of the body, back of the body, the whole body together, the whole body together. Notice how you are now. Check in with your breath, with just observing the breath. Most likely it's more relaxed, probably deeper, probably easier. Notice how your body is feeling on the floor or the chair. You probably feel heavier, more grounded. Yeah. And now gently start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, starting to come back now. And notice when you open your eyes, how do your eyes feel? And I want you to compare the state of where you are now to the state to where you were beforehand. Most likely you're feeling much more calm, relaxed, grounded, centered, whatever the words are for you. Could be peaceful. That's usually how I feel after this. It's called rotation of consciousness. And I want you all to now share with me, what level between 0 and 10 are you at? 10 being the most relaxed, 5 being supercharged, 0 being supercharged. So 10 is very, very relaxed. So go ahead and give me the feedback in the comments of where you are with that. Okay, I'm getting some qualitative, not quantitative. I'm getting more tranquil, more rested. Oh, good. We got a hashtag gold. Way to go, Debbie. Forgot to mention that today. Thank you for bringing that up. So hashtag gold is your indication to put in the comments when you get a gold nugget, when you get an aha, when you get a realization. You just get something that really does it for you, that resonates with you. Oh, great. We're getting some 8s, 9s. This is fantastic. Okay. So if you are at an 8 or higher, then you're going to do this next part. If you're not, then you're going to abstain. You're going to put your fingers in your ears and go la, 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 la. But I'm guessing that most people are at an 8 or 9. So if you're at an 8 or a 9, we're going to do something that's called we're setting a physiological anchor. So take your left hand or your right hand, it doesn't matter. Just pick one hand. Take the index finger from the other one and place it on the back of the knuckle of the opposite hand. I'm saying this because I know some of us are lefties in here. I'm not, but I know others are. So just touch that spot. And as you touch that spot, focus on your sense of tranquility and rest and peace, and maybe even some joys coming in here. But definitely you're in the rest digest phase now. You've dialed it down, nice and calm. And then take that finger away. So what you've done is set a resource anchor. So for the future, when you're feeling anything that is other than this state and you want to feel the state, like if you're feeling agitated or stressed or fearful, you can touch that spot and this feeling is going to be like a wave. Whoosh, it's going to come right over you and you will come right back to the state. So it's really a super powerful tool, and you can use that at any time. You can also do the rotation of consciousness at any time. You can do that for yourself. So you can just get in a restful state, watch your breath, notice how you are, go through the body parts. It's actually easier if you have somebody else going through the body parts for you, but you can do it yourself. So there's another tool. Does anybody have any questions or anything else they want to share? I'm going to tell us about tomorrow while we're waiting for those to rush in. So tomorrow is day 5, and we're going to talk about basic human needs. And the human needs that we're going to talk about are what we all need. It's the basis of our existence and how we can go up or down or stay stuck on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So I like to call this piece, Get Your Needs Met to Get What You Want. So to learn more, you'll be here tomorrow or watch the replay. So I really want to thank all of you for coming. Thank you for your patience with our technology situation. I think we do have it resolved now. Yay. Thanks to Ann Bennett helping me. We spent an hour and a half at least figuring this out, but we have it now. So thank you. And if you have any questions, any comments, you want to reach out to me in any way, please do that. You can do it via Facebook. Many of you know me personally. You can reach out. I have a lot of ways to reach me. So reach out to me. And then if you want to find out where your money blocks are at this very moment, you can go to mymoneyblocks.com. I'm going to type that in for you, mymoneyblocks.com, and take a short 2-minute quiz. And that tells you exactly where you are with your money blocks. It's really phenomenal. And it's a great tool. So thank you very much. And we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye.